Hope you're well. This is about as live as it gets, I have to warn you. Any advice I can give you before we kick off, don't drink Japanese whiskey. Very straightforward. Feeling as rough as a robber's dog. Looking forward to the game. I hope I've got the volume on low enough so the feds don't sweep in. So I will run you through the team sheet because I'm sure that's something you have no awareness of whatsoever. Let's have a look here. Yeah, do not go anywhere near Japanese whiskey. Very, very bad karma. Well, thanks to Mason Newman, artist in the Birmingham area, for his imported lash, as they say. Right, so let's talk you through it. Vicario in goal. Pahina, Richarlison, Richarlison in defence, that's interesting, okay. Romero, Kudus, Johnson, Pedro Porro, Spence, Sarr, Bentancur and Van der Ven. So these are in numerical order rather than as they will appear on the pitch. It would appear, and then on the bench we've got Kinski, Danso, Tell, Gray, Bergvall, Vuskovic, Solanke and Odobet Davies, which is always wonderful to see in his decade of wonderful appearances for the mighty Tottenham Hotspurs. Manchester City, going to be really tough game. I wouldn't fancy playing them today if I was Spurs. Let's have a look at the betting. Sorry this is all a bit ad hoc, but I suddenly realised that my drinking had overtaken my common sense and I had nothing in. And I will definitely need to eat at some point if I don't die, of course. So let's have a look here. You see, this is I'm already making all of those spivs and performing monkeys that have this sort of fake studio thing looking even more advanced than they actually are. If you wanted slick, this is possibly the wrong place. Right, betting isn't favourable, I'm afraid, kids. Manchester City 4-7 on. There are some women on the pitch. Oh, they're lionesses, aren't they? That's right, they're lionesses being applauded by literally dozens of people. So Man City 4-7 on. Draw 382. This is in Vietnamese or something. Draw 7-2, roughly speaking. And Spurs are out 5-1. So if you want to put your pocket money on this and go dancing tonight, this is the game to get your coins out, quite frankly. Yeah, even some of the empty seats are turning to each other and talking to themselves at the sight of the lionesses, who look more like they're in a sort of they look as if they do something for Topshop, quite frankly. But you're not allowed to say that sort of thing, are you? Yes, so the betting perhaps reflects reality. As we always tell you on this channel, you don't tend to walk past too many closed bookmakers on the way into town. I shall be sponsored today mostly by Cruz Campo, but I may be projectile vomiting and writing on the walls, sponsored by my own IQ as time goes on. City Ground looks pretty full. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm struggling to see what Spurs might get out of this. The pre-season, the pre-match prattle that we had on the last tape from the Three Amigos wasn't particularly favourable, and there was talk of 1-3 to City. Sorry, 3-1 to City. And generally us getting beaten all over the park. I hope it doesn't happen, and it may sound like an odd comment, but certainly under Postecoglou and other managers in the past, I felt that Spurs deserved a good bloody thrashing, and I know that isn't the sort of talk that you want to hear on these things, perhaps. Maybe you're on the wrong bloody channel, I don't know. I can't tell you what you should do with your life. But sometimes football clubs need to be told. This club as frequently need to be told. So I just don't know. I just don't know. But Spurs, I hope they don't lose, simply on the basis that I want Thomas Frank to get half a bloody chance. But then we're going to be back to the business of, you know, is anybody going to back him? If he's not backed properly, then we're in for a really long season, a really tough season. But what we've seen so far with the likes of Richarlison, Porro, and the general way the team is formatted, the way we're set up, looks a lot more bloody intelligent than it has been under previous morbidly obese Australians. But we'll have to wait and see what we get. So don't expect me to be talking the entire time, he said, realising he was as thirsty as a rusty nail. But tremendous. Good morning, good afternoon. Because football matches, this is going to be a little bit like the sort of commentary I have in my head that one might get on the radio. So as I say, I won't be filling the silence, filling the void with just endless. Let's get a bit more of that one there. Thank you very much. Yeah, I won't be filling every single waking moment with my drivel, because there's no need. So City, Trafford, Lewis, Stones, Diaz, Nuri, Rangers, Gonzalez, Bob, Cherky, Mamouche, Erland. Erling Haaland, even, which is Erland is a combination of both his first and second name. I mean, that looks horrible. That looks like a horrible team to play. That's about as insightful as I can be there. Spurs, so in positional order: Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Spence. That stinks of five at the back that could spring into four when we attack. Then Sarr, Paulina, Bentancur, Kudus, Richarlison and Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson needs to be on his bloody game, but who are we going to bring on to replace him with? Matthias Tell? Frankly, one of the biggest wastes of money of all time. And I've been going on to you on the Substack and on these ramblings on here. Johnson pops up with the odd goal, more than the odd goal. I think he got 20 in his last season with us. But we just need more. We frankly need a whole lot more. Let me just double bubble that. This is going out live on the old, what's its name? Goodness me, who knows? If this is recording into my sock, oh shoot! Right, let's. Hopefully this is going out live. We'll see, won't we? Yeah, it looks like we're going out live. Who knows? Who knows? If there we go. There we go. And there's one person watching, which could be me. Right, okay, so that's where we are. So we've had the teams. They're now deciding who's going to throw the coin in the air. And, oh look, there we go. Hello mate, Wagwan. Yep, all the usual gang have come streaming in out of nowhere. Blessings to you all. I have a feeling I may have been reading out the team sheets to myself. But I'd rather learn that now than come, say, half time. Yeah, there's lots of people on there now. Good afternoon, good afternoon. I'm not going to moderate this, so if you want to be cheeky and say rude things or horrible things, you're probably going to get away with it for a bit. Because I'm not exactly sure how popular this is going to be. It should be beamed into every home in the universe, really, but we'll see how we get on. As I was saying previously, perhaps to myself, I won't be talking through every single bloody blade of grass of this game because I don't think you need it. I certainly don't, so this might be a bit more of a radio commentary, but I'll try and give you my impressions, how it's looking, and you know, that kind of thing. A bit of local colour, shall we say? But yeah, so as I was saying previously, the betting looks horrible. You wouldn't want to put your money on Spurs, but if you know something that we don't, drink of choice is Gros Gamba, Ciao Bella, which is probably brewed in Watford or something, but there we go. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we get something out of this. As I was saying, I don't want Frank to lose. I want him to come away with more than his dignity. I'd like to see him come away with some hope, but getting absolutely whacked by this mob would not be helpful. So Spurs have got a throw in, left hand side, ball's bobbling around. No, that was Manchester City had a throw in. I've completely lost my mind. I was out last night drinking Japanese whiskey, so if I do start talking rubbish like I did there, that might explain everything. Alright, Vicario manages to get the ball out to Romero, the right hand side. City are pushing and pressing all over the shop. And this is already looking dreadful. Gus, you do the right thing, mate. Get down the fucking shops. Gary, looking not sure you want to watch. Yeah, bloody right, mate. It's possibly not going to go our way. City look at the moment, we're a minute in and they look to be playing with us in the way that a little kitten might play with a little mouse that doesn't really know how long it's got left, which doesn't really bode well. Spurs are super deep. Richarlison just off the halfway line, everybody way back. 4 at the back and then 4 behind them, so it looks like a 4-4-2 gone wrong. No, we didn't sign anybody this morning, nor will we sign anybody soon at this rate. I have no idea if this is going to be a window of rejoicement. Yeah, City looking very comfortable on the ball, just building from basically the cusp of the centre circle. Ball central. The good news is, of course, if this is absolutely terrible, and this is one of the benefits of my new location, there is a fantastic public house I could probably hit if I spat out of the window. So, you know, that's not to be sneezed at. Oh, got to watch the volume there, otherwise we'll have the feds burst through the door. Yeah, 90 minutes of the collected highlights of the last days of the Alamo. I mean, one of the great fears I have of this Tottenham side in a game like this, and I'm basically saying when we're not playing people like Burnley, is the fucking Vicario. Because he just simply doesn't look up to it. His decision making and his ball on the floor work is shocking. City have conceded a free kick left hand side of our half. Hopefully we can do something here that gives people the sense that we're actually still involved in this game 3 minutes and 5 seconds in. But we haven't actually strung more than 1 or 2 passes together at this stage. Good morning, Jazz Fusion, good afternoon to you. Yeah, Carl, you're spot on, we do need a new keeper. He's too Bob. This is the trouble when you're playing against someone like Manchester City, when your goalkeeper is going to come under a ton of bloody scrutiny. Vicario isn't going to pass muster. So all the big jingle jangle, high fives, this, that and the other. No, Basuma isn't playing, mate. I think he's on the naughty step, being asked to have a long chat with himself and work out why he's there and why he shouldn't be there. Tedious little man. Yeah, Vicario gives us all stress. Basuma's injured. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that. Yeah, I should really know, being the massive influencer that I am. So here comes City again, building up on that left-hand side. Spurs have got the ball back, but it's out of play. Can't even find each other. We're 10 yards away from each other. So it's City again, building away in the middle, left of centre. You get the sense with City that their brains are ticking about what they're going to do, and we just look like I say, the little mouse that's being played with by the pussycat. Oh, that's very nice. A gentleman in Boston, Massachusetts. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Who's in goal for City? That would be the Manchester City goalkeeper. This is the level of, this is the quality you'll be getting here. Oh, it's a young lad with a sort of goatee beard and a council estate haircut. I don't know his name, unfortunately. And I'll be damned if I'm going to look that up. Trafford, there we go. They're all coming in now, silly boy. There we go, Trafford. Right, so Romero is organising our lot because we've got a free kick, which is pretty much midway through the City half. Porro to take it, lofted pretty high out onto the right hand side, but nothing really happening with it at all. That was typical of a side that didn't feel like they could take advantage. Didn't feel like they were able to, you know, get in there on the strength of it. I would say it was a wasted free kick. It was just lacking in confidence. Vicario outside his box, short pass. I mean, just, I don't know. No cohesion, says Prima Italia. Absolutely right. Well, not had much of the bloody ball. If we're going to be blunt about things, and that's the strength of it. City passing the ball a lot more confidently in their own penalty area, but it's not really from pressure with Spurs. It's from Spurs. It's more like City working out what they want to do. Oh, Richarlison's flicked his ankles up. He's gone down. We've got a free kick outside, left-hand side of the box. I think Richarlison has been coached. I don't know if this is loose talk, but that didn't look like the Richarlison of old. He knew exactly what he was doing. It was a foul. It absolutely was a foul. There was contact. It was benign enough. In fact, it wasn't, because Erling Haaland sunk his other leg in. But so we'll see what happens. This could be a game changer. It looks like Porro again, and Kudus over the ball. This will be an indicator if we're actually at the bloody races today. Yeah, Hoddle territory, absolutely fucking right. Rubber Monkey, Dublin on the 5th of September, superb. That'll be a great night. I had a postman when I was living in Black Rock, Stillorgan. And his son was called Glenn. He was a massive Spurs fan. Absolute shite from Porro. Better second attempt. So that cannoned into the wall, came back to him. He got put his laces through it, but it went into the side netting. But totally unconvincing, ill-conceived free kick, has to be said. Probably would have done better if he took it on his left foot and arced it across the goal. I don't know, but that was more promising. That was more promising. But yeah, coaching, is it witchcraft, Carl? Yeah, absolutely spot on. I mean, it's been anathema to us, but that looked to me the way that Richarlison. Oh fuck, no, that's gone wide, but only by a matter of inches. City certainly the closest opportunity by far. But that just shows you, doesn't it? 1 minute we're supposedly on an advantage position, and that was down to a crackhead, fucking idiotic header that didn't go right. Was that Porro? Yeah, it was. dear Lord. That was about a foot away from going in the goal. Only a foot. Yeah, on the Cruz Campo, which is a nice drop, but was I think it wasn't. This wasn't actually live when I hit the button. But I was drinking Japanese whiskey last night, which I would give a 12 out of 10 rating to. But I would repatriate any unopened bottles in the UK to the island of Japan straight away. City moving the ball around a little bit slicker now, which doesn't appear to do much for the Tottenham heartbeats. Vicario gets the ball, punts it high and long and high, bang onto the centre circle, but Manchester City taking possession back again. Yeah, well, your mother knows best in the instance of when the sun comes through the door, doesn't she? Yeah. There's a ball in, but it's way out, and bounced off an ice cream van. No, it's down the pub. I mean, I had I've got a really nice little gang set up here, and there was beers galore. And then I had to pick up a T-shirt. One of the guys is Mason Newman, who's a Birmingham artist, super cool bloke, into his Ozzy Osbourne and all the rest of it. And he actually did a shirt for Ozzy. They sold in Selfridges, and met Sharon and Oswald after the big concert, the Back to the Beginning concert in Brum at Villa Park. So I went round to his to pick up a shirt that he'd done for me, which I might wave at the camera in the second half. I'm worried about the battery on this fucking phone. It's sinking away here. City are winning all the second balls, all the tussles, all the opportunity when they could lose, could bring themselves into being under a bit of pressure, and they are absolutely in control. Spurs look fine. We're set up fine. Ball's gone to the byline there, and dickhead Italians managed to get it away. It's got out of play. That'll be a City throw, and that's what I'm talking about. Everything that falls out the chain, the spare change that falls off the table, City are picking up. That was a decent save there from Vicario. In fact, he got his knee behind the ball on the Carlsberg. Well, you'll be around later than I will today, I tell you. Yeah, just worried about the fucking battery on this thing, because it's now down to whatever it is. So we could see me doing some class of... Oh, I know. I've got another one of these tripod things with a thing in, so I could get the cable into that, so that could save us. Hopefully this makes, yeah, 12 minutes in, we should get through to half time. I would have thought with my 27 minutes, 27 battery charge. Yeah, Spurs aren't doing anything. I wish I could tell you, oh, it's gone to Jed Spence on the ball, coming on the left-hand side, Spurs looking to build again, blah blah. But it'll just be remarkable if we achieve anything. And then the ball is with Romero, Bentancur to Romero, and now he's walking, and it's gone back again. I mean, under Frank, we've seen a lot more of the long ball, and I'm surprised we're not seeing any of it today. Yeah, Jason Dezelle, I can tell you because I speak freely, I was working in a posh men's shop in Colchester in Essex, and that was when Dezelle was massive at Ipswich, and just before he moved to Tottenham. And he was a great example of somebody who just lost their fucking mind, which in his case was the size of a key ring anyway. He had a fantastic girlfriend, very, very attractive girl. But he went to use the loo upstairs, and I caught him because we sold belts that cost, in those days, I mean, like 1989 or something. But belts that cost, Italian belts cost like 60, 70 quid. And he was shuffling them around under his jumper, tying them around his middle. And I went up there to make a coffee, and I just said to him, have you got the right size? Yeah, well, it was posh in Colchester in 1980, frozen to death. Certainly fucking isn't these days. So Manchester City, they're warming up a substitute because one of their players with a beard has fallen down. He doesn't look particularly happy with his life. 15 minutes in, and it's been City, City, City. Yeah, there's mumbling about a groin or something. I just don't care. I think football wouldn't be harmed by just whacking these people off and they sort it out later. Keep it moving, keep everybody going. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not inhumane, but well, Jason Dizelle would actually, if you remember correctly, going away from allegations of him being a no-mark, skid-mark shoplifter, Jason Dizelle actually was turned up late for at least one game, citing that he was stuck in traffic. I mean, what the actual fuck? Yeah, it is an endurance exercise, jazz fusion. It really, this is a war of attrition. Now, either Spurs get a goal that they don't deserve, which obviously nobody's going to, have an issue with. This guy looks like he's going off. He's not walking particularly well. I mean, this has been going on for hours now. And of course, he now has to ask for permission if he's coming back on to come back on. No, he looks like he's going off. I don't know. Oh, no, he's just having a little bit of a... yeah, his girlfriend was sensational. It's like very fine bone structure and a nice, pleasant ethnic mix, shall we say? And of course, Dizelle's brother. That's an entirely different show. He was a massive drug dealer. Probably dead by now, or one would at least hope so. Anyway. The other two amigos, they're probably playing with each other. That's what they normally get up to at traffic. He's stuck in his girlfriend. Yeah, fucking right. I mean, you wouldn't blame him, would you? You wouldn't blame him. YouTube notification. Is it telling me that I'm about to be arrested? Oh no, there we go. Yeah, impressive debut from Graham, says Bugsy61. In actual fact, that was his second outing with us. Oh God, now the wheel of death is rotating. Let's close that down and see if it does any favours. There we go. City shot, deflected, Haaland missed the rebound, but City come again. There's just this, it feels like it's almost like there's this gravity. But it is a snooze fest. It is a snooze fest. And you say there, Marianne, you say there about missing Hoddle. Hoddle, or a Hoddle-esque player, is precisely what we're missing. Somebody who can put the ball in the air. This game feels very flat. It doesn't feel particularly, it doesn't feel energetic, if that's the right word. But it feels as if, and there's another, lateral ball across the goalkeeper. He's going to hit it long. That's gone over the halfway line. Jed Spence underneath it, but it's going to fall to a City player. I mean, none of this is doing us any favours. Grealish, I don't know. Do you know something? I think a part of me likes Jack Grealish, but I truly feel as if he is a bit more focused on the old laughing juice these days. Ball's outside the Tottenham penalty area. Spence is at it again. Is this like that Bo Selector guy with the bandage on his arm? Is this like a prop or a lucky charm or something? Because I'd actually have a word with him and get rid of that. But it does feel like an early kickoff. Absolutely feels every inch like an early kickoff. I just don't know. Tottenham look pretty bereft of ideas. There isn't much wit or creativity. I mean, we've hit a long ball there down the touchline, but it just doesn't feel as anything magical is going to happen. And so Vicario stood over the ball, and there are the predictable whistlings going on. Right, and unless I've travelled back in time, this looks like the same player, the chap with the beard, has. Yeah, they're going to take this guy off. He should have gone off before, but he's tried to keep it going. Yeah. Big Chris, I make you right, mate. I can absolutely see an undeserved goal, and that just angering the tiger in City. So Johnson is giving tactical guidance to Richarlison, who's nodding sagely, which fills me with absolute fucking terror, it has to say. Yeah, you say Stephen Flynn, you say 1-1 draw. I think you're actually slightly more optimistic than most of us. This looks like this at the moment, and we're obviously 20 minutes into a 90-minute game or a 100-minute game, but this feels like a game that whoever scores wins. Yeah. FC didn't understand a word. Well, I don't know, mate. I'm speaking in English. So City have made their substitution, which arguably they should have bloody made 10 minutes ago. But Tottenham, what are Tottenham thinking? What's the strategy? I mean, Thomas Frank can't be too downhearted because we're very much still in it. But it just feels like the fucking front door is open. Right, so Richarlison again, another intelligent move. He just sort of kind of sheltered the ball and got the pass away, which has led to this build-up here. We're in their area and the ball's bobbled out of play. But again, Richarlison, I think there's something gone on the training pitches where somebody's told him, dare I say it, how to play fucking football. Thomas Frank frantically chewing gum. That'll be the next sponsor for Levy to announce at the footer of his god-awful website. Richarlison has punted that, toe-poked it into the City half, but Manchester City have got the ball and it's going back to their goalkeeper, and unless he does something insane, no, passes it to their lot. It's on the left of the park now, going forward. So there's Jed Spence. Is he going to do something interesting? Yes. Punts the ball out far and wide to the right, but it's far too much on the bloody thing. And that was a waste of time. Kudus giving him the old traditional thumbs up, as in, well done, mate. That was fucking miles away. Yeah, I would love to see us hoof and hope, but there appears to be an absence of the hoofing, apart from that particular thing. Let's make sure the volume isn't too loud. Hopefully you can hear me. That would be a tragedy, wouldn't it, if we're just sitting here watching me mumble to myself. Oh yeah, he's doing the old lip reading thing. Right, so the ball is now with Cannelloni, the goalkeeper. Van der Ven brings it out. It's Jed Spence brings it over the halfway line, left-hand side. That goes forward. Brennan Johnson's got the ball, so we're doing the right things, making the right noises. This fucking TV's gone again. Oh, Johnson goes nowhere. The ball's back again. Yeah, apology for any. Well, I'm not really apologising, but if there's any the time delays and glitches that pitch adjust when there. It's the nature of the beast. We look toothless. Yeah, we do look toothless. Kudus, again, a nice ball, cushioned it and sort of fed the thing to Richarlison's feet, but there was too much movement on the ball and it just pinged away. Yeah, Brennan Johnson. City go long, left-hand side. They've lost touch of it there, and it's gone out. He's not very happy. Old Maramouche do the fandango. Yeah, Magic Echo Lake, absolutely bloody right. We don't have any vim or vigour or urgency. We are so desperate for a really good creative 10. I mean, Paulina, he needs to show a bit more. He really does. He's missed out there, for example. So City coming in, right-hand side of the left-hand side of the box, ball bobbles out. Richarlison in there defending. He's having a decent game. I never thought I'd say it. I mean, we're not doing anything with it, but he's doing well. Ball bounces out over on the left-hand side. City going for that. Pep Guardiola in his CP company sweatshirt, looking very pleased with himself because he didn't have to pay for that, 160 quid to you and I. Bring David Ginola on, absolutely, Mr. Flynn, absolutely. There is lacking that oomph and that creativity, that certainty that certain footballers have, and we just don't have it. We simply do not have it. Brennan Johnson there trying not to get too involved. That's a success story again. He didn't get involved. Haaland now pushing through, won't lose the ball. He's been tackled 3 times. This is looking like a goal. No, it's bounced off of Vicario. I'm not going to call it a save, but you know, you can't argue. He's doing a bit of pointing, but he's doing less shouting. Personally, I'd like to take him outside with a fucking tar iron. You met those people, they've just got dislikable faces. That is one of those guys, you know, just intensely dislikable. Yes, a player like Eze, precisely. I don't know who you're talking about, of course. Don't know who you're talking about. Richarlison, look, I know this is all pish in the wind, but Richarlison didn't get his free kick he was after there, but he behaved himself physically. He gave it everything. You know, his performance, you couldn't dispute. And I think he's been properly coached on a training pulp by somebody. No, he doesn't think anything. Vicario never thinks anything is his fault. He is, for want of a less well-trodden phrase, a fucking narcissist. Right, there's a comment held for review, so maybe rude words aren't getting in. And if it was aimed at me, good luck to you. Yeah, he does look a different player, Sasha. Richarlison, he does look a different player. And people always moan when you have a go at players, but for goodness sakes, I'm a living embodiment of, you know, I've given kudos here on the ball, doing something destructive, you know, really trying to make a difference. But you get the sense that he's just running around in circles. Now the ball comes back, Vicario's come out of his box. Are Spurs on the attack? It's really difficult to actually say that. Well, Davy and Pam Beveridge, would a defeat be bad? Do you know something? I don't think anything influences Daniel Levy. He surrounds himself. It's a very cheap, very easy remark to say that he surrounds himself with yes men, but he absolutely does. I mean, these protests, I heard from a number of very well-connected people saying, oh, it's anti-Semitic. No, anti-Semites are anti-Semitic. These are people just shouting, you're a cunt. They don't care what you are. They don't care if you're a Catholic, Muslim or a Jew. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn what you are. They're just giving us a rerun. They have Kudos on the ball, absolutely trying to boss it. You know, what time is Celine Dion on? City doing a little bit of stupid passing to each other in the penalty area, but they're away from that now. The ball's back in the midfield. Spurs get the ball, but he's passed from the bloody right wing to Vicario, who again, he's a dozen yards outside of his own flipping box. And this is the highlight of the game. The tape's gone into the wheel of death thing again. This is I won't say defensive, but this is a pretty deliberately cagey way that Spurs have been lined up for this. Spurs now moving the ball around, looking a bit more like they're involved, opposed to, you know, they've just wandered in. But there seems to be, and there we go again, another back pass, the back foot, and it's with Vicario again. Right, now he's thumped it forward. That's going slightly to the left to Brennan Johnson, who didn't even go into Stones. You know, you joke about players having an allergy to grass. He's got an allergy to other people. Paul Edwards, keep drinking your beer. I didn't need that sort of encouragement. I don't need you. Yeah, need me, all right. You know, see me lurching up the tunnel with a can of Cruz Campo in my hand. That would inspire everybody, wouldn't it? Weeping discharge, absolutely, Mr. Parker, absolutely. No, you're absolutely spot on. Half-hour mark, and the closest we got was Vicario physically blocking, opposed to making a great save, but there's a fine line between the two. Yeah, some game this. No, Johnson doesn't have any mentality at all. Oh, Johnson's got a card. Well done. He's leapt into fucking action. So that's for verbals, I think, unless we're going to get a rerun. And he's now having a big hero's farewell speech to the referee after the event. Yeah, they've not rewound that to show us what he did, so it was verbals. Absolute waste of fucking space and energy. Great opportunity for Thomas Frank to substitute him. What a tedious little character he is. Good morning, Jeff. How are you? Back from swanning around in bloody Australia and everywhere else? Mixing it up with us low lives. Well, you're more likely to see Mr. H urinating against his own living room wall, to be blunt. We're going to be very close to having to do something with this fucking phone with the battery. But of course, as I said to you, those of you who were unable to, well, you wouldn't have caught it because I didn't have the fucking thing on live. Oh! Oh, is it offside? Yeah, it looks like it's offside. Yeah, it's offside. Brennan Johnson scored, but he didn't. Thomas Frank is applauding the ballerina for her efforts. Right, let's actually see what happened here, because I was about to recount me drinking Japanese whiskey last night, which was not a good move. So the ball, Richarlison pings it perfectly But unfortunately, the lad was so fucking useless. He was even offside. Oh, has it gone to VAR? Oh, I don't know. Checking disallowed goal, folks. I mean, we were talking about the possibility, the opportunity, the golden opportunity of getting rid of this fairy, and of course it looks like he could be on the verge of having scored. Referees in Romero's ear. Struggling to see the offside. I'm struggling to see that. You're right, Gary. I won't get the gig. He's looked at the box. He's doing the box shape. He's given the goal. Has he given it? There you go. He's given the goal. So Spurs are winning. Yeah, extraordinary scenes. Scenes. There you go. You see, performing monkey. Yeah. No. Dreadful footballer scores goal, but I couldn't see the offside. I mean, that's when he hits the ball. But what was bizarre that the lino called it, and it went in off the keeper. He's got to have a word with himself. But the player that Richarlison had on him was surely had Johnson onside. But anyway, they've given it. Right, let's see how annoyed this makes Manchester City. Fucking wheel of death again. This is doing my head in. Oh, the good news is that BT have offered to boost my Wi-Fi, so hopefully this will be a thing of the past. No, they're not doing a 3D check. It's more like a sort of Robert Maxwell bouncing check. I don't know. I mean, you didn't have to do anything particularly apart from watch it again slowed down a little bit. It wasn't offside. I couldn't see it anyway. So it was just an overzealous. Yeah, absolutely, Big Chris. VAR absolutely destroyed the game. Very rarely that I agree with Postecoglou, but I don't mind taking it. The technology isn't the problem; it's the fucking implementation of it. And as a result, my opinion is, well, if you're incapable of recruiting people that can do it properly, then I'll take a little bit of a rough with a smooth. Johnson is a Timu enigma. Yeah, well, the BT are actually good here, and I'm a city centre, so there is a I get a feeling of fibre, shall we say. But the problem is, building with God knows how many people in it, a city with God knows how many people in it, and the convergence, the draining is just horrendous. You know, and then you've got the rats and the zombies and the crackheads to contend with. But bloody hell, I'm having trouble staying awake. I think I'm going to have to drink more. This City goalkeeper doesn't look particularly wonderful. Here come Tottenham again. That was was that Bentancur? No, it was Pedro Porro. I have to up my haircut game. I mean, he really did look as if he was trying to buy a foul then. Spence suffocated the City counter-attack. Vicario, has he passed the ball out? Yeah, I think that was over the line when he struck it. And Porro's building his part there, clutching his vagina for all he's worth. Yeah, Porro absolutely leapt like a young spring gazelle and screamed even before there was contact. Whereas Kudus was actually fouled by the goalkeeper. They've just, two really dodgy fouls not given. Absolutely spot on, FC. This referee, he's not having his finest 39 minutes and 55 seconds. I mean, this is another thing with the modern game. The ball in play, you're lucky if you get an hour, 60 minutes out of the 90, and then the whole thing turns into 100. Yeah, Gus, you're absolutely right. All excuses, no more signings needed, yeah. Well, we went to Manchester City, just drivel. Oh, looks like Pep's got a special edition what do they call it? Viewing lens on his thing. It's all right for some. Yeah, keeper went well. He actually went in. The keeper went knee in to Kudus. There you go. Last season, average ball in play from LC, 58 minutes. Oh, look at the Tottenham fans there. That's an absolute snapshot of humanity, isn't it? Wonderful. Rubber monkey suggesting that Frank should unleash Knacker's greyhound Bryan Gil or Gil. Yeah, absolute waste of fucking space. I don't know, have we actually has he been registered? Have we actually given him a shirt number? Bloody hope not. Yes, plain white ball. Great shout from Davey and Pam Beveridge there. Absolutely fucking spot on. Yeah, Jeff, our man in the stands, Jeff, who perhaps isn't in the stands today, but neither way. How's the challenge by Trafford not a foul? How is it not a foul? I mean, absolute disgrace. It's interesting to see what Jed Spence is going to do here. The ball's gone out of play, but who are they going to give it to? Yeah, it looks like Tottenham have actually got it, but dear me. Yeah, Gil not part of the squad, no number. Fantastic news. Fucking right, Carl. Solomon is back in training. I don't think there's anything wrong with the lad. I've made that quite clear. Obviously, Christopher has issues with me, with other humans. And of course, we get the jokes. I've been sleeping with Solomon. I only slept with him once. It's not an ongoing relationship. Yeah, I'd love to see. I mean, Solomon is a player we could do with today. Don't tell me he isn't. The referee is having a bit of an abortion, if we're allowed to use that language live on the BBC. It's not been his best work. I mean, I don't know any of these referees these days. But he's really fucked up here. Well, yeah, Magic Echo, Luke, absolutely. Well, don't forget, Reddit Coys is a hotbed of mentally and physically disabled spastics. That's all I can tell you. They're all lefties, and they're all the free plasticine mob. That's who Reddit Coys are. And those nitwits took it upon themselves to ban links to X because of the salute that they alleged that what's his name made, and don't even get into whether he did make a Nazi salute or he didn't. I don't think he did for a moment. I think it was a sort of more sort of futuristic Star-Lord thing. But now they're posting stuff where you can't even... Scopies, apologies to anybody that was spasticated in the audience that was offended by that last remark. But you can't, they're posting links, screenshots of posts on X that you can't then click through to. I mean, it's absolutely mental. Right, Spurs have got a corner, so if you were planning on doing anything interesting in the next 30 seconds, you might want to think twice about it. I'm running out of battery here, but the good news is we're 45, but how many fucking minutes are they going to stick on? We could be here for days. Yeah, block Reddit. It's an abomination. I mean, it's quite good for breaking news when you're having to put blog posts up and stuff like that, but the people on there, absolute know-it-all, know-nothing, scumbags. Right, ball comes in, lovely and high, and so fucking high, it actually went behind the goal. What the hell is going on there? Did anything happen? Did the ball burst? Good afternoon, Jake. Jake Aman Shah. 7 minutes. Oh, don't. 7, wonderful. Oh. Right, we go again. Kudos to take it. Again, lovely and high. Going to the far post. Richarlison managed to, I don't know what he did there, bounced off of his tinfoil hat. Bloody hell, so the keeper's fucked up there and Richarlison was too slow. The ball's gone in. That looks like Polina scored his first goal for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute shower of shite from City. So it's 2-0 and you wouldn't believe it. So the first one wasn't offside and that was actually a decent goal. Pep Guardiola staring into his feet. Spurs suddenly looking, dare I say it, because you can't argue with the facts, we haven't been particularly engaging, imaginative, but we're getting the fucking job done. So the short free kick goes to the goalkeeper. He fumbles his pass. Richarlison doesn't quite get there, and the shot's fired in from Polina, who doesn't mess about. Blasts it low and straight through. Who we got there thanking me for a fire stick, you motherfucker. Yeah, if you're looking for a fire stick, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have anything to bloody do with them. But I would certainly recommend the service of Tony V over out there in Colchester. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, look at that. Proper strike. Kept the ball down. It only bobbled up when it hit the City player. And we go back to the same Tottenham fans. Are they rerunning footage here? But Spurs are 2-0 up at Manchester City. And we were sitting here saying, oh, you haven't really broken into a sweat. But what the hell do you want? This is, I know it's an overused phrase, but this is a tactical masterclass. But yeah, absolutely, Gus, you're spot on. It'd be hilarious if Frank gets a 4-0 win and takes the Angite's only highlight. But yeah, this is one of these games. It's typically one of those games that you needed to be there. And I don't mean that from a perspective of having a greater understanding of all that, but you needed to be there because the walk bloody home, right, and I remember going up the high road too many times, and you walk with a different spring in your step. Long day, plenty of beer, plenty of food, plenty of ooh-ah and, shouting stuff at people. But if you win, the walk home feels so much easier. And we're now looking at a Spurs side that, I mean, a cynic would say have it all to lose, but we're looking pretty controlled. We didn't look controlled for the first 20 minutes, absolutely did not. And there's Richarlison doing what he always used to do brilliantly, which is fall over without any encouragement. Lee Shakespeare, as a gooner, I'm still laughing. Of course you are, because you own a mirror, you twisted, boss-eyed fuck. So yeah, here comes City, but there's two men on him. I mean, this is a different. Poor old Jed Spencer. I think he's conceded a corner there. Yeah, he's just given the linesman the old traditional English greeting of "fuck off, mate." Yeah, this is looking like we're coaching. This is looking like we're coaching these players. I mean, I'm not going to say tremendous work because it isn't that beautiful on the eye. But this is the problem, you see, the mindset of your average football fan, of which I happen to be one, is that, you know, Jose Mourinho bad, everybody else good, but this is a very Mourinho-esque performance. And you can't argue with the score. You can't argue with the score. Oh, you can't. You can't mention Stelios. Not on this channel. I mean, you can mention Stelios, obviously, but nobody in their right mind would, because he's a Greek toilet cleaner, and that isn't a racist thing. He is Greek, and he looks like somebody who cleans toilets. Personally, I wouldn't have him cleaning my toilet, because I like my toilet to be clean. So there you go, City trying to do something, get the ball into the Spurs penalty area, but there's no danger, there's no inherent danger. And this is coming from us tactically being aware. Yeah, spot on. Amazing what when you no, was it Super J6? Do you hate all Spurs YouTube? Not really. I just tell. Look. You can tell this is unfiltered. I don't have an agenda, but a lot of these guys are needy nitwits. That's the reality. I mean, that Bryan Gil, who's the anti-Spurs, anti-Enoch. Oh my God! City will be absolutely annoyed that that didn't go in. Haaland headed, and it should have been a goal. That's a massive fuck job. He didn't get on top of it though. There you go. It's the oldest one in the book, isn't it? Oldest one in the book. Didn't get on top of it. He actually jumped a little bit early, and he was going down because he's such a big lad. It was a sitter, but it was only a sitter for the man who jumped a little bit later. Pep Guardiola doesn't look happy. I mean, he's entitled to not be happy. Bryan Gil comic. You see, but Bryan speaks a lot of sense. He does speak a lot of sense. I don't disagree with a lot of what he says. And there we go, half time. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this running, but I need to recharge this fucking phone. Oh, actually, I might be able to do something magical with the old magnetic thing on the back. So bear with me. There might be a bit of flickering and floating, but I need to charge this bloody thing. Right, bear with me. Can we get this in there? Oops. What do you mean it improved when he went off? Gone off looking for more. Why isn't this charging? Oh, I suppose it is really. Oh, there we go. Hopefully. Right. Ah, there we go. We're charging. We want to see some skin. Hula hula. Fuck you. The shirt. Yes, I'll get you the shirt. In fact, I'll do it now because it's half time now, isn't it? That's a good idea. Yeah, so this is the t-shirt. from Mason Newman. And as I said, he did the thing with Sabbath, and there's his Aussie thing on the back there. And this is his latest design. He's a Birmingham artist, a close personal drinking pal of mine. But yeah, just Google him. Follow his Instagram if you want. He's not cheap, but then he is pretty fucking brilliant. So that's what you get. But there we go. We're charging away. Lucky toilet break. No, actually, I haven't broken the golden seal yet. So we're yeah, Joe Phillips, absolutely refreshing to see us actually setting up tactically. Yeah, it's a nice t-shirt, bloody, and bless him. But the only problem is, I would advise you all. There you go, Mason Newman. I would advise you all to go into a shop and purchase one, because if you go around his house and pick it up for free, you will get involved in Japanese whiskey drinking, which is not for the uninitiated, has to be said. Yeah, Jeff, our man in the stands, perhaps not in the stands today. It was terrific away at half, only gave him very limited chances. First goal, he looked closely, very well worked. Classic Johnson does the sniffer role very well. Yeah, you can't argue with Bryan Johnson. Bryan Johnson. He does do what it says on the box, but he is Android 890. Well, you're a very dangerous man. Japanese whiskey. I'm not a fan of whiskey, and I've had very, very expensive, boringly expensive Scottish whiskey, but Japanese whiskey is a different level. Absolutely, God knows how much that fucking thing was on last night. But if we win, you're going to have to do this every week until we lose. Hot boy, thank you very much, madam. I do like drinking a Godfather. Absolutely, yeah. No, it was insane, absolutely insane gear. And will Chris be at the No, Chris only goes to home. I say only goes to home games. Christ, that's a commitment. Yeah, he's a big home boy. Rum. The trouble with rum, and it doesn't matter whether it's cheap or expensive, it doesn't do me mentally any favours. And it gives me a massive booze hit, but then I end up going to a perilous spiral of despair. Now this morning I woke up and I drank a fair amount of scotch at the pub and around here, and I actually felt fine. Maybe I'm missing the object of the exercise, I'm not really sure. Yeah, tapping merchant bar, take it. Paul Weston, absolutely spot on, mate. Absolutely fucking spot on. No, unfortunately, I'm a very unreliable witness. Heskenhoff, Japanese whiskey did have a name, but it would have had to be in Braille, the condition I was on when I got hold of it. It was a white label with, would you believe, Japanese writing on, and perhaps a rising sun, something like that. I'll find out because it's actually one of those drinks. It's good enough to actually have a bottle of that in the house, you know, for a little treat. Half-time meat raffle. Come on then, all together now. This is for a bag of pork, assorted cuts. Thoughts on the first half? Well, I've been giving you a running commentary all the way through, Alex. I think it was a pretty bloody good first half, but I have to say, and I'm allowed to say it, I think this is a game that you needed to be at to get the full enjoyment, because we're sat here watching it going, ooh, it's a bit boring, with Spurs passing the ball backwards and forward and all the rest of it. We all know the Japanese, Japanese pornography, not good for anybody, at least of all the people involved, of course, right, kids? But no, it's a kind of game you had to be at, because yes, we're winning, but you don't get that, fuck me, I'm happy, that elation that you would get unless you're actually at the game. And that, looking back at the goals, this game is going to have a nice little highlight reel. Oh, of course, now we're going over to the experts. They've got the experts in, haven't they? Two women from Kay's catalogue and, Joe from Chelsea. And what are they going to tell us that we didn't know? There we go. Best watch along on YouTube. Love the unfiltered nature. Well, that's what you get, kids. That's what you get. And of course, you get lots of cushions. Oh, I wonder who this is being broadcast aimed at. Dunn Stores, which, to the best of my knowledge, are only in the Republic of Ireland. Wonderful. Oh, I'm actually shattered. I slept well, but I put so much poison into my body by the time I'd fallen asleep, it kind of defeated the object of the exercise. Do we get full-on defence for the second half of Spurs? Well, I tell you what, Paul, I think Spurs are gonna prepare for City to make changes, because it's all on them. It's all on them to come back with some fresh ideas, because the first go hasn't worked. I mean, it really hasn't worked. They've won all of the second balls. They've created lots of opportunity, but they haven't actually troubled our goalkeeper. Yeah, you're right, Carl. Blood, fam, can you feel me? Get the fuck out of here. No thanks. Yeah, well, you make the point there, gentlemen. Both Keith and Prima, yeah, the Glenn Hughes picture's great, isn't it? But that's in the office. I might to do this in future, but then I'll have to either pay somebody, get the telly out of my bedroom, which I don't watch in there. I think I was planning on being ill when I had that put there, but put that in the office and then do this from the office, and then you can get a bit of Glenn Hughes magic, and I can have to tell it, because that's how I used to have it set up, which probably would have been better. What's that? I think the City keeper hit the Japanese moonshine harder than you did. Yeah, he probably fucking right. He looks rubbish, doesn't he? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we're 2 goals ahead. You've got to keep saying it, but that's the truth. We're winning. Didn't feel like we were going to be winning anything. And Furball makes an excellent comment there. Where will we be at the 70th minute? We'll be running out of huff and puff, because that's certainly what happened at fucking the PSG game, as you will recall. Certainly what fucking happened. Oh yeah, there was a Glenn Hughes, the Leatherman in the thing, because I said to somebody Glenn Hughes, and they said, well, whatever you're into, mate. And I said, well, it's the voice of rock, what the hell, you know? You're getting great value, aren't you? I'm still going during the bloody commercials. Yeah, considering how many fucking wingers we've got, oh, bloody hell. Oh, just given birth there. But considering how many wingers we've got, there hasn't been any wing play. But you can't argue we're 2 goals to the good, which is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. But the real problem we've got, which is me kind of inventing things that haven't happened yet, is that our bench is dreadful. Yeah, Mike Zappa there. Will it be interesting to see if he repeats the subs on PSG and part of the bus? I would be absolutely fearful of tinkering with his starting 11. If I was going to replace anybody, which obviously this is a farcical thing to say, it would be somebody that hasn't had much of the ball, who then is probably not in need of being subbed. Yeah, don't bring fucking Davis on. Yeah, apostrophe 94, goodness, you don't make life easy, do you, mate? XJR / go down. Saw Glenn Hughes last year, I was still as good the purple days. His voice is insane. If you consider the amount of artists who are even younger than him, their voices have gone. And Glenn Hughes has been around the block. I mean, it's not his first rodeo. He's been on the back of strapped to the back of the horse for decades, both personally and emotionally and otherwise. But his voice is still insane. I saw him was it last year or the year before in KK's Steel Mill in Wolverhampton. Which you ever get an opportunity to go there if you're into that kind of thing, because it's obviously the Judas Priest fella's place. That is one hell of a venue. One hell of a venue. Great stage, great blah, 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 but great merch, food, toilets, everything. Very, very, very destination. Just trying to make sure this fucking thing is going all right. Yeah, I think we're all right. Yeah. No, Keith, listen, mate, this is our channel. So if you want to tell me that you think he's a phenomenal bass guitarist, you're absolutely welcome to do so, because he is an absolute revelation. I think he's a hugely underrated artist. And that photo is one of one. The photographer that took that was taken in his house in London, and he very kindly gave it to me. I was interviewed before I got there. Oh look, one of the Dolly Birds there is interviewing Franck at Thomas Franck at half time. I'm not sure how helpful this sort of thing is. I'm really not sure. Probably the last thing that a football manager wants to actually get involved in. And I've just had a notification from my Substack there, which has reminded me that I haven't actually done a live thing for the Substack. So I can't blame everything on Japanese whiskey, but that was probably remiss of me. But Jeff's here. Jeff's Mr. Substack, you know, so, you know. There we go, there we go. See, you all love the music. Old blokes on stage. I know, Jeff, I just said it, mate. I'm sorry. I totally forgot, and I'm worried about the broadband now. Second half is starting. So I'll have to do a massive apology at full time. The old blokes are upset and moaning there's no live. I know. The trouble is, I had nothing. I was supposed to act like a human being, and I didn't. I went to the pub. I ended up procuring illicit goods, and I needed desperately to go out and to get some food and you know, stuff that humans need in their private lives. And I literally came through the door 10 minutes before kick-off, so it's been a bit of a fuck job. But this is a tester. So I'm enjoying it. That's the main thing. That's amazing. Yeah, Brixton Academy, absolutely fantastic venue. Do you think Levy will be negotiating Sevilla at half time? No, I don't think he cares about football. Yeah, Deep Purple, absolutely insane. I saw them in the Phillips Halle in Christ, I can't even remember where it was now because the beer's kicked in. But when I was at school in Rheindahlem, but the event, the Phillips Halle, was it in Dortmund? I can't remember. It was somewhere north of where I was living. Right, so Manchester City back in the room with the football. All bets are off on the heavy rock front. City goalkeepers kicked the ball into. There we go. That's a bit more like it. Spurs taking the ball right back onto the edge of the City penalty area. So this will be interesting to see what happens next time. What happens in the second half? I think that the responsibility is all on Manchester City at home to repair being 2-0 down, and I think that Thomas Frank will be mentally seeking to process how Spurs don't fuck up, because that's always the underlying. So Spence on the left wing there. No, lost possession. This is very nice, actually. Sevilla. 4.4. That you get more oomph out of the draft, don't you? Out of the pump. I'm sure it's stronger than 4.4 when you get it in the rubber dub. So Spurs are scrappy. Kudus is back defending, which I think might tell us a little bit of what Frank was considering at half time. But here comes City on the right, looking to find space for the kick for the cross. Ball gets fed in. Oh, here it comes the shot. No, blocked. It was Polina that did the good work there. Stephen Flynn, I am drinking a Cruz Campo, and that's how they pronounce it in Germany. Yeah, we defended extremely well. I mean, this isn't how we described it. I don't think any of us. Big Chris, 2 games in, and we've nearly got 16% of our total points tally from last year. But don't forget, waving at a bus. Waving at a bus is what it's all about, kids. It's all about waving at buses. Don't worry about relegation. Yeah, we could stay up. Nothing's a given. City looking, I have to say, a little bit more dishevelled than they were in the opening 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes of the game. Of course, they've gone into the changing room, and Pepper's absolutely given them a dressing down, pulled lots of, disappointed faces. So they're having to process all of that. But Spurs now picking up second balls, and we weren't doing that for effectively the entirety of the first half, truth be told. Of course, they're doing the traditional thing here on the TV coverage, and they're showing us images of Spurs fans singing and chanting as if they haven't got a care in the world. There's a rare beast indeed, the Tottenham fan that feels elated during a game. So Spurs are actually pressing a lot more in the midfield. Yeah, exactly. Big Chris, spot on, quicker to the ball, trying to get stuck in, and we certainly weren't doing that last time. Jeff is back, our man in the stands, crashing into tackles, blocks, etc. It's not who we are, mate. We are playing football. Sounds shocking, but we are actually playing football. Certainly get the sense that if Frank has made given any directives, instruction, then he said to them, just get into them a bit more and act like you're winning. And I don't think that's a bad guidance, to be honest. Spurs. So right, Vicario's picked the ball up and he's doing his usual dick around Mary routine. Jesus Christ, it gives me kittens, that guy. Oh, nice clearance from Vicario. Perfect, faultless clearance. Yeah, Paul, absolutely spot on. We are looking a little snappier in the tackle department. That's what she said. All right, City on the push, on the pushy push. I'm not sure we're missing Basuma at all, are we, Jake? Are we really missing him? Was that tongue in cheek? It's difficult to tell, just without seeing a photo of you or a video of you making that comment. Are we really missing Basuma? Do Spurs need vibes? That bandage on Jed Spence's hand is annoying me. Jake's tongue was firmly in his cheek. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we operate here. I ask a question, you give me a response. Spot on. Yeah, Phil Foden. Well, we could get him, of course. We'd have to negotiate with his mother. No, he's not coming out tonight. Yeah, Paulina has been. Howling Mad Murdoch, that's a great fucking name, isn't it? Paulina has been superb along with Spence, yeah. I think the player ratings from this game are going to be a little bit difficult for some Spurs fans to kind of get their head around, because everybody, oh God, we've lost possession. Oh my word. Shit, it's a fumble, it's a scrap, but Spurs have won the scrap. Spurs won the scrap. So that was a really like harem scarum moment. Stupid ball across. We've got to fucking stop doing this. I mean, Vicario caused that with this shit pass to I think Mickey Van der Ven. That was. I mean, he's got legs like absolute disaster. Guys, I keep on saying this thing, and I'm not going to do it now because I'm trying to operate with a degree of laissez-faire. It's saying comment hell for review. I'm not going to look them up because I don't want to interfere with the Wi-Fi and all the rest of it. But if you're putting silly, if you're calling me rude words, that's great. Love that you're being moderated automatically, and I can take it. But just maybe be careful you don't. I mean, we got away with the S word earlier, but it's difficult to know what. And that bloody goalkeeper at it again. And Richarlison, I have to say, is behaving a lot more. I really get the sense that Richarlison has been taken aside almost and told to start acting like a grown-up. Maybe it's fatherhood. I don't know. I don't profess to know. But I have to say, I'm impressed with Vicario as a must be naughty words age. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? But yeah, I feel that Vicario, I don't know, with perhaps fatherhood has brought him some sense of maturity. Goodness me, those Man City fans aren't particularly attractive, are they? But yeah, absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Great performance from him. I mean, not great, but I mean, far much more improved. Yeah, Carl, definitely coaching age hasn't happened in the last 2 years. Certainly hasn't happened in the last fucking 2 years. I thought it was interesting. I saw a comment made the other day, and it might have been one of you guys, or it certainly wasn't me, but said, or it could have been one of the other amigos, and said about the business that the lack of injuries under Pochettino. We heard moaning from them, the players from that squad, and I think it was Eric Dyer, to be honest with you. But right, City are trying to build something here, but it isn't going anywhere. And the second balls, City are not picking up, and they were. I mean, this isn't rocket science to analyse this game. It really isn't. But City don't have control of the ball, and they're playing at home against Tottenham. It's only Tottenham, lads. Right, Spurs now decided to start playing beach ball. Ball's back to fucking Vicario. Let's see what he can do with this. I'm going to throw it to his mother in the crowd. No, he's found one of our players. Spurs are now playing in this current little passage as if it's the opening 20 minutes. A little bit under duress, but we've won the second ball. We've won the second ball. We've won the second ball 3 times on the bounce. Richarlison tried to get his head to it. It looked as if the ball was miles wide. I mean, he's doing all the right things. He certainly bloody wasn't doing the right things for the last few years. Richarlison didn't have sight of that at all. Bless him, bless him. And that's the first time I've said, yeah, he just had his head down because he had a guy flying into him. Yeah, that was just, in fact, the ball was lucky to even head towards the goal after that debacle. Their goalkeeper is a bit of a prick, actually, isn't he? here comes City again, coming up the right wing, looking to build. They don't have a lot of people forward. Suddenly, there's all these black shirts. Nothing wrong with a black shirt, of course. Yeah, Chris, I'm not utterly convinced that Richarlison is reborn. That was a shot from way downtown by Johnson. It was pretty poor, to be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of empty seats, guys. There's a lot of empty seats. Trouble is that City, because certain football teams, that was a pretty poor effort by Johnson, has to be said. Mind you, there was nobody near him and he probably felt quite relaxed. But City probably, certain football clubs have footprints. You know, they have a lot of online support and what have you. Leeds United are one, Newcastle United are another. City don't. You know, when City were winning everything, you'd see the big headlines, but they weren't generating much in the way of click trade, you know. But seeing the empty seats because they're 2-0 down at home stinks of... you're better off watching it on the telly with a bit of gargle in your hand, you know. Speaking of which, I think I'm opening another can. That was a very good choice of beer. I don't think I've had these in the house before, actually. Cuscampo. Right. Spurs on the attack, into the penalty area, and then having to rebuild because it doesn't come to anything. Back heel, Jed Spence with his fucking bandage thing on. Yeah, furball, spot on. Kudus is I'm drinking Cruz Camp. Did you ask me before? If you're making me, you know, do athletics by holding a can up. But Spurs look absolutely a different team to the one that started this. It's almost, I know we go back to the coaching thing, but it's almost as if Frank is operating in a little earpiece. Because the team are kind of flexing and reacting to what's happening on the pitch, and that makes for a very dangerous football side. Very dangerous. Which is why, of course, Ange Postecoglou's stuff was a complete and utter fucking car crash. Because all you had was this Tora, which is great if you were playing people that didn't know what was happening, and that's why we had 10 wins that went very well. And then you get what you get. You get the 22 games that we fucking lost. Right, so it's Spurs now, and this is a flip of the coin, and it was heads first half, tails this half. Spurs actually in charge and riding their fortune. So it's Porro with the free kick. But there's also, is it Kudus with him at on the ball, so we might get something a bit more interesting. Mickey van der Ven getting the ball's lofted in high, headed high, and it bounces off the top of the roof for the net. But again, Richarlison acting like a grown-up. Ah, you're on the Holston. Holston FC is seriously, in the modern age, a massively underrated beer. And you can get... from your local off-licence and vitualler, 5% cans, and it's now a bargain price. You're never going to see them as a shirt sponsor again. Never going to see them as a shirt sponsor. They don't exist. But still a fantastic beer after all these years. Yeah, absolutely. Davey and Pam couldn't agree more. The substitutes are going to hurt us, and it's going to be interesting, to put it mildly, to see to what extent the damage is. Richarlison unfortunately reverts to type, and that header on goal was actually a clearance. Right, I'm going to get a cold beer, so you'll indulge me. There we go, folks, just in case you thought this was a recording. Yeah, it is, Chris, you're absolutely spot on. It is shady off licenses that are selling Holston. You don't even get it in supermarkets. Soproni. Oh, that looks very nice. Well, sounds good. The voice of experience from Rubber Monkey with his Ring of Fire. That is a nice drop, it has to be said. When this is being streamed into every house in the nation, I shall be selling signed cans, empty cans. I've got a made-up name signed on them. But yes, Spurs are playing very well. We look extremely, and I don't like to use the C word on this channel, extremely competent. Which keeper would you take? I would take them both out. I'd take them both out round the back and two in the back of the head like the Irish firm. I think they're both dreadful goalkeepers. One is a colossal cheat and the other one is a loudmouth piece of toilet roll. I don't like either. I'd go for Donnarumma. Hop House 13 is good, but that's got to be bloody cold. That's got to be bloody cold. But no, neither of these goalkeepers are any good. And I've got a feeling that Pep will be, I mean, I don't know anything with the history of this guy, but he simply isn't good enough. I mean, that's the truth of it. City with the throwing, and they don't look particularly proactive the way they set up. And again, the second ball they've lost. I mean, I'm banging on about this because it's a child could see the difference. Hawkston's great, Carl. I like the lager, and I particularly like the cider. And the cider doesn't have any weird shite in it. It's actually just a really clean, natural pint. And of course, Jeremy Clarkson's thing is unmissable viewing. Just absolutely spot on. So, for the entire year, I've made £1.31 profit. What a show that was. Absolutely insane. Now there we go. This is attempts from Copilot via Microsoft. First half 5, Man City. Second half 1. I mean, City are on the ball at the moment, but there isn't that same malevolence, that sense of imminent danger. Yeah, Chris, spot on. We are a lot more physical than City. A lot more physical than City. We actually look, and again, use the word about the sort of the competence and the coherence we're showing. We're actually looking like grown-ups. Ooh, excuse me. Right, here we go. We've got the superstars coming on now. The Kiss of Death Club. Solanke and Tell. May our gods go with us. Gentlemen, open another can. Yeah, you're spot on, Marianne. Not a hope in hell, because they don't have any bloody money. That's the problem. I mean, it would be great if we, you know, and this is what would be fantastic with a football club. You make so much money that it would be lovely to give the fans something back. And you could, do you know, you could do, you know, like they do for the poppy business. We remember the fallen, and we do the right thing and have a poppy on the shirt. But wouldn't it be great if we did a thing for like a cup, like if we were in a cup run or something, and did a special series of shirts? I mean, that's a marketing no-brainer, isn't it? And you could have Holston shirts for the cup when Spurs were a cup side. I mean, Christ, I'd buy one. I'd buy one tomorrow if they did them in maternity fit. Oh, looks like some of you are watching a slightly more up-to-date stream than me. I've got here, I'm off to put a fiver on the draw, and oh no! Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. How far behind is my stream? Yeah, Super J, Spurs. I was supporting Spurs when we didn't have a sponsor, because I'm that old. Because I have to dye my beard grey, as you can see. But Spurs, for me, I think the first shirt I bought was the centenary season. Wow, what a kit that was. Oh no, oh no. Oh, the ball's gone out of play. Romero is getting carded for having the audacity to question the referee. That is a shit card, I have to say. Well, he actually put his... So, Romero's gets a yellow card there, perhaps not for the questioning of the referee, but for the perceived foul. But his shoe went over the ball. There was contact on the ball. Depth of a child's swimming pool. Oh, dear. So, City can smell blood at this point. Vicario's running out of people to shout at, which is always pleasing. Oh, the wheel of death. Fucking hell. Ah, right. Come on. Goonies, please. Bloody hell, that was close. That was very close. And the problem we've got there is that no Tottenham players were actually involved. I think the ball just... Yeah, it came off a Tottenham player. Might have been Mickey van der Ven. So City definitely smelling blood at this stage. So I've got an ingrown hair in my nose, which I will send to the first person to offer me £200 for. But yeah, so here we go. The ball's in again. No, fumbled out. And that's out of play. Jed Spence, well done. So it's a third City corner in a matter of minutes. All right, Archie Winks could be with us. Vicario punching out a dreadful, absolute howler. Ball kicked up into row F by Ferdinand fuckwit there from Manchester City. This referee is an absolute slug. Total waste of space. Richarlison reverting to type, giving it socks. Being pointed at by some fella there. Sarr doing a half-decent job of telling him to behave himself. And they're looking at they're obviously looking over at the technical areas there. So what's Richarlison's involvement here? The punch out. Oh, right. So Richarlison was having a ding dong at the player for leaning into the referee, and he's now gone into telling everybody to get back into bed with their mother. Oh, Richarlison gets a yellow card, and he doesn't give a flying flip-flop about it. Yeah, and Gonzalez, or whatever his name, or Gonzalez, or whatever, Richarlison, both picked up yellows for pretty innocuous stuff. This referee is pants. There's no two ways about it. So we've got 14 minutes to go, and I have to make a small confession here. I didn't switch off all the notifications and stuff, which I should have done. And it's very lucky that nobody's phoned me. This is the professional operation that you're dealing with. So City substitutes making themselves known. Spurs are looking absolutely in charge of this. I mean, almost by default, but Spurs are not looking like they're under pressure from City at all. Yeah, so hopefully for the next game, and I will carry on doing this because I'm actually enjoying it, believe it or not. So the problem you have with me is holding my bloody attention. But no, I am enjoying this, and I will do more. But I need to get stuff set up because I haven't thought this through at all. There's been no live stack on the Substack, and that's a disgrace because those people have paid. So that needs to be done, and I also need to get somebody to get the live goals up during the game as well. So all will improve. That's all I can blag you at this moment in time. Oh, Porro with the ball through. The keeper's missed it. Our man's missed it. That was Sarr. City coming up through the middle. Richarlison's hounding away like a fucking terrier, it has to be said. I mean, I don't know if I'd make him man of the match, but favourable fucking mention in dispatches, 100%. And I never thought I'd say that. I mean, hopefully we see a lot more of this, please. Yes, FC, we are in control. What's this? If you're having a German flute, you may do with a thin whistle. Yeah, it's about the size of it. Poor old Sarr. He's doing a bit of a Zakora there. It didn't stop. He started to not work properly when he was too far forward. They're all at it. This guy Mason Mount's coming on with a bandijo. Jazz Fusion recommending the 3-in-1. We've all been there. Goodness me. Most of the City fans look as if they're in the midpoint of transitioning. Right, so City have made a number of substitutions. Let's see how that works out for them. Yeah, with you, Nick, 100%. Nick O'Donoghue, he's better off not using his subs. I mean, this lot aren't being tested. Tottenham Hotspur are not being tested. And we're slick. There we go. The ball play forward could be dangerous. It's run out of play. That'll be a City corner. But it probably isn't the end of the world. It probably isn't the end of the world. Here's Mount then, Foden, sorry. There goes my job on TNT. You're out of here. So Foden in with the ball. Fuck me, that went straight to Vicario. Not knocking him, but it went straight to him. If he'd have managed to... Yeah, he hit the ball straight and hard, but it just went like that into his arms. There we go, the surgeon 99999. Man City not had a shot since the 28th minute. I think that's absolutely insanely impressive. Oh no, here we go, here we go. Hold tight on the upper deck, here we go. Solanke and the man of La Mancha, Tell, coming on. Johnson's coming off, that's for one. And what else is coming off? Oh, I was just seeing the Johnson goal, that's why he's coming off. Is it Odebear, is it? There you go, Tottenham fans applauding as if they know what. Oh, Richarlison coming off. I think he's come. I think he doesn't look happy to be coming off. But I don't think he's ever happy unless he's on the nest. So it's Odebear coming on, which would be interesting. Let's have a look at him since he's op, and Solanke, who quite frankly needs to show us something, because Richarlison's had a decent game. I mean, goodness me, this is like through a looking glass, isn't it? Foden scowling. Oh, he's doing the homosexualist foot on top of the ball thing and then wonders why he's been pushed to the floor. Waste of bloody space. Right, City powering forward, but there are 5-6 Spurs shirts back. If City scored from there, that would have been an absolute calamity. Spurs are so far more organised than they have been for a very long time, and defensively that was just a great moment, really great moment. And that's the first time that we've seen City since the 28th minute. Yeah, defence, what a concept, says Jazz Fusion. Absolutely spot on, my friend, absolutely bloody spot on. Of course, Vicario's leaping at shadows. But you see, even the ball in for the final ball for the shot it was a shit shot, and that was all down to the defensive activity. And I love seeing Spurs like this. 5 players around the football, just bloody 10 minutes. Oh, look, Foden looks absolutely like that's the end of his season. He's done something horrible there. He's not walking very well. So City preparing to defend against a long throw. Unfortunately, goes to a fucking City player. Haaland's come in, the ball's pinged out, come off the back of somebody's heel. They've accidentally on purpose fallen over. Has the referee got a card? Oh no, it's a whistle. Looked like he had a card out. There's a lot of this going on from City players, which I guess is coded language for who's the bastard in the black. Yeah, absolutely spot on, FC. He has changed the way we play in 5 weeks. What he's done, and oh, another yellow card from the Angel of Death here. Oh, he's giving it to Pedro Porro now. Fuck, what the fuck? What a charming man this referee is. Of course, the best referee is the referee you don't notice, who just keeps everything going in the spirit that's intended. But you see, the problem is that you build up these don't bother getting a fucking pillow with cushions and feathers in. You end up stabbing yourself. But you end up getting this attritional business where a player has to miss a key game because some nitwit like this clown gave him a yellow card for nothing. And I agree with you. I think this referee is hell bent on making sure the game is remembered for all the wrong reasons for fucking him. Frank is getting a little bit more animated on the side there, but again, compared to what? Compared to that morbidly obese Australian oaf. Yeah, Super J 3600. He got a yellow card for trying to take a bloody throw-in. Great to see that Kudus doesn't need to be substituted. Absolute machine gun of a player. The Aussie Hedgehog. Ange de Forest. I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. I think that Ange's agent or agents will be based in Europe, opposed to Adelaide, and I've got a feeling we're going to see a fair bit of Ange 2... Waste of fucking space. Waste of fucking space, that guy. Absolute substandard human being, not just a bad football coach, but not a great human being. And if anybody watched him eating that piece of steak, that overcooked steak, sat there like an absolute lottery winner, I would have sent the steak back. There's no harm in that. No harm in sending food back. So City had another go there, as you've probably all seen. Balls bounced off the roof of the net, but in fact, bloody hell, Vicario was miles away from that. If that was on target, it would have gone in. Yeah, fucking right, FC. You couldn't go for a pint with Ange. Absolutely couldn't go. He'd probably end up getting you into trouble. He's a sort of bloke who wouldn't see the merit in keeping your fucking mouth shut when you're out. Well, Gibbs White, yeah, good luck to him. I mean, the idea that the absolute insanity of that entire fiasco, the guy managed to secure himself a bump in his salary, which would have given his agent an add-on would have kicked in, what? He's there for another year. If he thinks there's going to be a queue of people waiting for him come next summer, not a chance. Go at this rate, I can see me giving Mason a call and seeing if there's any more of that that Japanese gold watch about. I would certainly go out for a Danish pastry. There's a shot there from City, from Foden, well outside the area, but again straight at Vicario. Which again, not taking anything away from him, but just telling everybody what actually bloody happened. City look beaten, and that's the truth of it. We're pressing when we don't have the ball, which sounds an idealistic, a noble thing to say about any football side, but we're actually doing it. City don't look like they're playing at home, and to be 2 goals down, 2 goals worse off. And this is the guy that created the chance from City before. The ball's gone out for a corner. It's Pedro Porro again who's come to the rescue. So that's another block tallied up on his stats. He's having a good game. And this is the thing with Spurs, I think we're going to find, is that this season we're going to see a lot of, and this looks like Kudus coming off for Bergvall perhaps, I'm not sure, but we're going to see a lot of players who are, instead of scoring 4s and 5s, they all be, the minimum wage of scores, if you like, is going to be 6s, 7s and 8s, because they're all giving a decent account of themselves. Yeah, Kudus off, Bergvall on, 5 minutes plus, whatever time's been added on by this absolute wanker of a referee. Hi Gary, you're back. Did you miss anything? Well, I'm not sure exactly when you left, but you might have missed two goals. I don't know. But Spurs look absolutely in charge. And it's that intelligent sense of being in charge. You know, there isn't any pomp or circumstance. We actually look like the better side. Bergvall's gone past his man. He's fallen down. Gets the cross in. The shot was good, but it goes wide. And that was Odebear. Half time. In which case, no. Well, you've come back to is Tottenham actually ruling the roost a lot more than we were. The shot was dreadful. Actually, it was about fucking 3 postcodes away from being on target. But it was a good move. I'm not going to knock it. It was a good move. This soundtrack to my life. City crossing the ball in, that's gone nice and central, but they're playing beach ball, volleyball, it's up in the air. Bergvall's holding his nearest and dearest. Oh, he's play acting, unless he twisted his perineum in mid-flight, but who knows or cares. The referee marks the spot with a free kick with a little beep. It's almost like he's putting a cherry on top of a cake. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Hopefully it is a celebratory tin. We've only got, 3 minutes on the legit clock. Who knows what the fucking referee will get up to. Vicario's already blaming people before the ball is struck. Ball goes in, too low. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want City to do well here, but they've fucked up and they've fallen over and it's a general debacle. City, that any fight from this lot has gone. Absolutely gone. And you can actually see the cameras have just panned outside and call me old-fashioned, but there are too many people and they are streaming up the exit aisles there. And that's one of the greatest sights you'll see in football. That's Ben Davies wearing his training bib. They don't like it up him, Keith. They don't like it up him. Oh, the Spurs fans are going giddy-o there. They're probably chanting we're the champions of Europe, which of course we're not. That is reserved for the actual champions of Europe, who are Paris Saint-Germain. They're off, they're going. They've had enough. And I have to say, if they weren't obliged with the hundreds of thousands of pounds they're getting paid themselves, I think some of these City fans, given the choice, would waltz off up the road. And again, there you go. A City player having the ball pinched off the tip of his toes. The second half, the big difference is for me, and I know it's tedious, but all the second balls in the first half went to City. They were far more focused. LC's actually spot on here. Dare I say it, a Spurs manager masterclass. Weather the early storm, quietened the crowd, and then took over. 2 goals, good night. Yeah, they don't like it up 'em. They absolutely fucking don't like it up 'em. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Guardiola? I mean, Thomas Frank is doing what we had hoped he was going to do and give us a sense of direction. Oh, here we go. Danto's coming on. That's good news. That's a sensible thing. So it's +4. But Palhino's coming off, or Palhina is coming off. And there's 2 chimpanzees, Spurs fans, with their caps on backwards, with their curly sort of beach comber hair, getting an awful lot of TV time here. Oh, Papa Matasar, player of the match. But that'll have taken a few people by surprise, but this is the new regime under Frank, that it's going to be tough calling a player of the match. Or actually, can we just speak English? Man of the match. I mean, Haaland's up in the air. This guy's miscued it, and here comes Jed Spence again. Go on, son, put your clog down. There's nobody there. Pape sarr with a kind of pass backwards 30 yards. I mean, I guess this is kind of typifying where we are with Frank, which is a good place, but it is all a little bit cautious. Yeah, absolutely, 1K. Getting the right players are key to our season, and Frank will know who he wants. Trouble is, though, that's like having a map and a great navigator, but nobody to drive the fucking car. I mean, where is Daniel Levy? Apparently, whoa, bloody hell. Well, City nearly went 3-0 down there, thanks to Odebear and co. Thank you very much, jamming it, all appreciated. I just need to make sure that the fallout next time isn't as horrific, because the guys on the Substack, I say, they've paid, they should have been getting a better service than this. Yeah, Rob Walker, absolutely spot on. Rather be cautious than last season's charge of the Light Brigade. Absolutely fucking spot on. At least we're getting this lot functioning like a proper fucking football team. At least. Interesting ball out from Jed Spencer, found Porro. Porro's crossed it in. Oh, for flip's sake. Now, City playing fast and loose with getting the ball on the spot and all the rest of it, but they don't have it. Any of the gravitas that City brought into this game, they've lost. This will probably end in me, going, oh yes, and they've scored their first goal. But they just don't look like it. And look at that backline. There's 2, 4, 6, there's 8. There's seven or 8 players in the Spurs penalty area. Oh, and there we go. Vicario has just let Bergvall know that he is a decent footballer. That would be a fucking weight off his mind. So City's corner comes to pretty much naught. The ball goes out off the back of Porro's heel. There's more empty seats in this stadium than there are City fans at the moment. I guarantee you. It's really deserted. That's it, folks. That's all she wrote. Spurs have won the game, and yeah, that's tremendous. We've won. We beat Manchester City 2-0 in their own backyard, as they say. So who's that lying on the floor as if he's broken his butthole for Spurs? Be interesting to see. Right, there's an awful lot of celebratory stuff going on here, which I have to say I'm not a big fan of, because this wasn't a fucking cup final. But it was great to get... And City were a slow starting side. That's something that we shouldn't forget. Right, that's it. Otherwise I could just keep it going on for days. Great to see you all here. Tell your friends, tell them it wasn't worth getting involved with. And yeah, see you all soon. Good luck, God bless, and keep it Tottenham. Choo-choo, blood, not half. Take care, fellas. All the best. Oh, my good to be live.